Hi everybody, and welcome to video 7 in our simple browser MMO tutorial. Okay, what we're going to do is just going to log in here. I know last time we left off, we just created a character, but before we go on to do any more of the character stuff, I just want to go over to the admin page here. Okay, let's go to archetypes, which is what we're using for our example. Okay, so we got a couple different divs, and tables are formatted to have one color, then the other color, one color, then the other color. Okay, let's go over to our Dreamweaver, take a look at our CSS, and save this. Okay, now what I did was, if I take a look at archetype, and the code for that table, okay, where's the code for that freaking table? Okay. Okay, it's not an archetype, that's right, it's an archetype list. Okay. This creates the table here. And you see I've given the table a class called World Builder. That's where this formatting comes. It comes from the blue borders and the light blue and the gray. Okay. So for all my tables within the World Builder, I assign that class World Builder. And go over to our CSS. And I just said in the World Builder .table data, I want border style solid, the blue color, no spacing, text align center, font size, exact same for the table headers. I just want it to be a little bigger, so I put 15 instead of 14. And table rows, the same data. I had the same for just the general World Builder class, but I bracketed that up, so I'm not using it right now. Okay, this thing I want to show you here. Yeah, when you find a class, it's not a pound sign, it's a dot. This nth child odd and nth child even. It's pretty good functionality, and this is where I get the different colors in each individual row. The problem with these nth childs is, well, IE, as always, Internet Explorer is a little bit behind everybody else. So I believe 8 and below, this won't work on. So you might want to throw some JavaScript in there to compensate for that. We probably will do that later, but all in your browser, Firefox, Chrome, they're pretty compliant that this isn't a problem for. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at our archetype list. Okay, welcome back everybody. I just made the text a little bit bigger so you guys can probably see it a little bit easier. Okay. For each table in the database, we're going to start looking at archetype, because we want from the World Builder to be able to modify the data in the table to change different characteristics of the world. So for each table, like archetype, we're going to create a PHP page called archetype. Within that page, we're going to include the list, which does everything in this little div here. We'll talk about the list page first. Basically, we're going to create a table with all the fields in the database. ID name description, remove and edit, which are going to be buttons, and you're going to hit the database to get the information from the archetype table. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put first row, the first one's going to be name, the second one's going to be description. In the third one, where we got remove, we're going to create a form, so we make a little button, and I'm going to pass the token value hidden, and I'm going to pass the name, the hidden value, and the arch ID, because we're working on archetypes right now, and submit's going to say delete, and this here is the exact same field, except the submit is going to say edit, so I want that to be the edit button, and it's going to post essentially back to itself. It's going to post to the PHP to archetype. I know this is PHP archetype list, but the list is embedded in the PHP archetype, which you'll see later on. So it's almost like posting it back to itself. Okay, and that creates this little form right here. Okay, now let's take a look at the archetype page. This should be standard to you. The token should be standard to you. Action is new, so it's not. If you've never been in before, it's not automatically assume you want to enter a new record into the table. Clear out the name and the description and the ID in case it has to be carryover. Okay, now we're going to check if there's a post, the action. If so, if the action equals edit, what we're going to go do is we're going to go down and we're going to select all the information from the archetype table. I'm going to put that information, name, description, load them into name and description field. If it's delete, we're going to go just right over here, do the delete, take the name and the ID and just delete that row from the database right there. We're not even going to bother passing over to our do archetype. And a little message to say successfully deleted and what we deleted. I'll show you that how it works over here. And if it failed, it failed. Okay, so alright. Here's just a little form we made. Okay. If post action, so if it's going to post action is if post delete, it's going to echo update, which is what we put here, successfully deleted. Okay. If it's not, it's going to print this form here, so we can do some actions in there. Basically, the form is a post back to do archetype, which is going to do all the most of the calculations for us. In there, I had a field for the name and description. In this table, that's pretty much all there is, so there's only two fields, luckily. So it's a good example to do something short. So name, description, description is text there, and then of course the arch ID, which is hidden, token, which is hidden, and submit that. And the form, add new, and this one just basically posts back to archetype that is new. So if you get a new, it resets these to nothing. Okay, now let's take a look at our do archetype. Hopefully nothing. Let's take a look at our do archetype. Alright. Okay, back over in our do archetype. It should all be pretty much straightforward. The access, if it's been posted, if not, kick them back out to archetype. Our post variables, we're going to get the variables, then we're going to strip the tags from the name, then we're going to do MySQL real escape string like we always do. Same with the name. We're not going to skip the white space and description, obviously. Okay, and it's going to check to see if search ID is null. If the search ID is null, we don't know which one to use, so we're going to kick it back to the archetype, our main page. If it's not null, we're going to insert into archetype our new name and description. And if successful, it's going to say success. Else, I'm going to update. If it doesn't, I'm going to update. Okay, if ID is given, we need to update it. We're going to update the table where name is equal to name, description is equal to description. No, we're going to update the table. We're going to set name to name and description to description, where the ID is equal to the ID, so that's the ID used in our table here. ID is equal to ID. Okay. If update is successful equals success, not equals failure. And we're going to go down here and admin box bottom. That's this div here we created. Okay, so feeds that in, and that's pretty much the description for that. Let's go back and show you how it works. Okay, let's go back to archetype. Okay, so I go in here. If I want to edit something, I just click on it, like yeah, let's click on mage. Oh, what's up, mage? I'm going to change mage to mages. Hit submit that and save the changes. Change successfully. You can already see it's changed down here. I do have that success and it tells us to go back. Okay, now I'm going to change that back, so let's go to edit again. Get rid of yes. Submit. Ta-da. Now I'm going to do a new one, so I get add new. Call this class Hobo. He's going to be a killer. Submit. There we go. Hobo archetype, and it's a killer. Okay. Of course, I didn't want that hobo there, so I'm just going to hit delete. Boom, and no more hobo. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Now, this setup will probably change. We'll pretty it up a little bit later on once we get everything working. You have to go through for all the tables that relate to your world building, such as archetype, armor type, classes, game set, player, race, restrictions, sex, and all of them, and do the exact same thing we did for archetype for all of them. So you're going to end up with a lot of pages. There's no point in me going through every single one of them with you, so that would take forever and ever. So we're just going to skip that and move on to something else in the next video. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you later. Oh, and don't forget, you can just download the files if you don't want to do all the typing. Thanks a lot. Bye. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to click on the like button, join my channel, or leave a comment. Thanks for watching.